in here for game 2. We're gonna get
some
right in.
interesting bands here. Tazadar? That is something I would have expected to see last match, of course,
No, ban Tassadar and a ban on Arthas from Cloud9. So that's Barrel Boys banning out Taz. And
yeah, apparently Dunk Train too strong.
Another thing that we didn't mention about Tassadar is they actually even nerfed his D.
His Oracle,
His Oracle.
Yeah.
They nerfed it from 7 seconds to 5 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
So he got nerfs all around, but he still seemed like he contributed
He
plenty.
did a lot, yeah.
He still did his job. I mean, he's just a really solid character, and I think he's in a good spot. I don't think he's OP like he used to be. He definitely was too good before. I think no one would disagree that he was too good. He was first pick almost every game.
Right. Okay, so Barrel Boys decided to switch out their ban. Previously, they had banned out Falstad. This game, they've decided to ban out Tassadar, of course, like we just talked about.
Tychus
This allows them to pick Falstad.
Interesting.
Perhaps they feel as though Falstad might be able to contribute a little bit better for the range damage. He's basically like a mage caster, range DPS. Maybe they felt that they needed that extra backline damage going into the fights. We'll see if it makes a difference.
There's a lot of cool pairings you can do, like especially if you manage to get Tyrael with Falstad. I kind of wish they took Tyrael instead of Stitches, because when you Judgment, Shock and Awe, you can pretty much just remove a target from the fight. Now, they did nerf the damage on Judgment a little bit, but it's not like it was... it's not like it did a lot of damage to begin with.
You're right. This is true, but it's still half damage.
Yeah, it is 50% of what it used to be.
And depending on who he judgments,
yeah.
You know, if he judgments,
True.
Let's say he goes on the Vala, that might not be enough to kill anymore.
Yeah,
maybe that little bit.
You might be right. You might be right.
In which case, you would need another ranged, AOE something to get in there to do that damage. Something that has a lot of range, so that you can safely cast it from a distance. That isn't available to them at this point because they did take Vala.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. Well, so far it's Arthas, Vala, Uther here for Cloud9, and on the other half we have a Stitches and a Falstad. What will Barrel Boys pick up next? What do you think will pair with this? They obviously still need a healer.
Yep, they do. Falstad,
all healers are on the board. Every single healer is on the board.
I haven't seen any Rhaegar play yet.
Yes, yes. Malfurion and Anubarak, they're going for a really heavy lockdown composition. Stitches can pull someone into the lawn. You can just pull them right onto the grass. If you have to, you can just gorge them up as Stitches and then just vomit on the lawn, and you have someone just rooted in place, free to just be picked apart.
And then, on top of that, you have chains from Anubarak. He still has 2 stuns, at least. Now, he did get nerfed. He lost Rewind at 16. So he doesn't have the ridiculous amount of stuns before he could Impaling Blades, what is that, Burrow Charge, and then he could Rewind, Impaling Blades,
still
Burrow
very
Charge
good.
again. He doesn't have those things anymore. So I'm really going to be paying attention to his talent choices this game, because I want to know if they're building him differently.
Yeah,
I play a lot of Anubarak myself.
Yeah, he does. You do. You do.
I'm excited for
that.
Hammer!
Oh, this is the game for Kubi. This is the Kubi satisfactory game.
Oh, are they actually taking Witch Doctor? This is amazing.
What? We got the Witch Doctor. We got the Nazebo. We got the Hammer. This is a game.
Okay. On Clairvoyance, Jake and Sia Steve interviewed Dunk Train last night, and he said, we've been running some weird stuff.
Yes.
This is weird, guys. Witch Doctor? When was the last time we saw Witch Doctor played?
I think we saw him in Champions of New Maelstrom, which was a Chinese event. I think we saw him play there, because that's the Asia meta. I think we saw him played once or twice. But Kerrigan and Nazebo have a lot of synergy, and so does Arthas. You consider Kerrigan has Primal Grass to pull someone in. Arthas has Howling Blast to lock someone down, and Nazebo has the Wall of the Dead. So the amount of control they have as well. But on the other half of the spectrum, I bet you they actually initially, with this composition, that they probably pre-thought, let's get this like really heavy control for Haunted Mines, because having a lot of control in those tight pathways in the mines is huge. Like Howling Blast, if they're walking through like one of those tighter paths, you just throw Howling Blast, they're just stuck. Yeah. Same thing with Wall of the Dead. Malfurion is a really good pick for that as well, because Malfurion has the same kind of thing. So if Cloud9 had Malfurion, I would actually that's too good. That's actually too good. I bet you they wanted Malfurion.
It's a good point that you're making, but Barrel Boys also has the same thing in mind. They have
they do.
They have Malfurion, and they've got Hammer in the back that's going to just be wailing away, doing tons of things. I really like both of these comps. They're so different than what we're used to seeing. It's very exciting.
This is really exciting. Caster's ready.
Barrel boys, ready boys.
I don't think we actually have to hit ready. It's just a button there just to feel good about ourselves.
Yeah, I like to feel good about myself.
Eggy, you know, we might see Lily. We see some sadness about no Lily in the chat here. And we played a lot of Lily. Like Eggy, you and I were both support players.
Yeah.
And I had to try the new Lily, and she is. I had 140,000 healing in a 35-minute game. Like, that's pretty good.
They put some numbers down, and you look at them initially, and you're like, oh, that's small changes. That's not what Lily needs, though. They scale really well.
Oh my god!
You get to the late game, Lily is healing a lot, and they gave her more range on her heroic, so that the area.
That's what makes her.
Yeah.
That's really what makes the difference.
So she can actually stay, zone out a little bit further from those stuns that was originally the bane of that heroic, because if she got stunned, she lost that channel. So with the plus the healing and the extra range on that, she might be viable.
She might be indeed. Now, like a goof, I didn't update the scoreboard, so I'll have to do that live here. But we'll get that fixed. We'll get that fixed. Oh, fix that overlay here. And yeah, while we stare at the base here, we're just gonna update that. So it says 1-0 and Corey.
Yes.
Let's do the introductions here.
Absolutely. So on the range damage, we have Dunk Train playing Vala, Biceps on the crazy pick, Nazebo, King Caffeine running Arthas the tank, Kenma on Uther, and Suna with Kerrigan.
Now, what happened to our C9 Maelstrom mounts? I'm pretty upset about this. They're not here.
This is complete anarchy.
This is disgusting.
Step it up, guys.
Well, on the other side of the map, Phoenix is going to be playing a new Barak, taking the bottom lane, and in the top lane, pushing with their golem. We have Trummel on Hammer. We have McIntyre on Stitches. I had to stop myself. Base Trap's going to be playing Falstad, and looking beautiful with that Master Skid. And Malfurion will be played by Blinks.
Okay, here's a weird talent. Falstad. Base Trap's running Falstad right now. He took one of the barrel roll upgrades.
It's not Afterburner.
I think there's one that gives an additional shield. I don't know. Honestly,
yes, that is what it is.
It's probably the one that he took, but that's really strange. We usually see Falstad's running Season's Marksman, or they're running Bribe. Bribe, I can understand not taking it on this map, but Season's Marksman, why not?
Yeah, Season's Marksman's great. Well, Trummel's in a lot of trouble here. He's backing on up. He's going to be just fine. Actually, the root was friendly, so that helped him get out, keeping the Kerrigan and the Arthas away from him a little bit there. Kenma taking a sizable amount of damage as well. And that hook is always going to be a threat here, but Caffeine will be just fine.
As usual, going in.
Oh my goodness, the Primal Grasp into the lawn. Gets a kill here. First kill here for Cloud9.
Wow.
That was quick.
Weird meta plays here. I'm going to be honest with you. Usually, each team will run 4 heroes in the lane that their golem pushes down, basically in an attempt to sort of push that lane out so that the golem doesn't have to push as hard. It can get further down the lane. Then the other team will go ahead and run their 4 people on the bottom lane, and you'll have your best clears running 1 person on the top lane for defense. They're not doing that this game. They're just playing like to your face, like, let's fight.
I think they took a look at Hammer and said, if we just let that push with this composition and we just let that Hammer siege up, he's going to rip through our fort way quicker than we can. And that's the only thing I can think of as to why they're doing this, because like you said, this is very uncommon.
Or it has something to do with the meta change in terms of base
could be right.
And maybe that's not the best way to play it anymore, and you have to slow play the map a little bit.
So it's no longer just push one lane. And you know what? Dunk actually mentioned stuff like this, changes that would be happening. Well, oh my goodness, the Primal Grasp was huge here. Getting the stuns, getting the lockdown. Malfurion is just very low. Going to have to tap the well here. Mine spawn, so going into the mines when you're not at optimal condition is not great. And we see Cloud9 is just saying, look, if you want to come in here, you're going to pay the ultimate price.
But they can see that. They know that they're... I mean, when you look down at the mines, you can see... right there, you can see all the heroes waiting at the door. It'd be... oh my gosh.
Oh, there they go, there they go. And the Primal Grasp followed by the stuns. Just boom, bam, boom. It's actually just complete carnage. Cloud9 was patient. They waited, and Barrel Boys got barreled home.
I'm sorry, guys, but... Barrel Boys, what did you expect was going to happen there? You see all of the heroes just waiting there. There's like a good second where you can't react to do anything while you're channeling in. You're going to get ruined. You have to say, okay, they're willing to sit there. We'll float down bottom. We'll go in the bottom side to try to take some skulls. They just decided, let's suicide. That's really... I don't know what they could have expected was going to happen there.
Well, Cloud9 is split up all over the mines, and we see that Barrel Boys have entered in the bottom. Kenma is kind of secluded here and will pay with his life. There's no way he's getting out of here, but Cloud9 doesn't care. They took 64.
64 skulls.
What's the death timer on Uther? Well, he's still a ghost, so we don't know the death timer, but he'll be up before we know
10 seconds maybe, if that. No, probably less.
And they're just going to go grab all the Merc camps. Look at this. The offensive giant play. Look, you want your giants to defend for you? We're going to grab your giants first, so you can't get your giants defensively. They're typically used on this map to defend a golem. You grab, it's just a little pro tip. If you guys have never done this in a game, if you guys are playing on ladder, if you actually grab the giants right as the golem passes the wall here, you grab your giants on the left side of the map, your giants will actually just kind of hang out at the top of the map here and throw rocks, defending the golem and getting a lot of efficiency.
Ton of DPS there.
Yeah, ton of DPS.
You can't shake a stick at that.
If you cap them too early, your giants die.
Yeah. And I think we'll see that here. Hopefully, they will take these giants, they'll back off, wait to cap it. So like you were saying, just before when that golem passes through the gate, if they were to take it early, it honestly doesn't make much sense to me. Okay,
yeah,
I think they were probably yelling at him, like, capping,
stop,
no.
Stop.
This is exactly what we're talking about here. They're going to wait to cap it. As soon as you see that little red figure going through the gates just past the tower, they will cap those. And that's why they're keeping control of their vision. They don't want anyone hopping over, taking that camp before they can.
As soon as he passes, they cap him. Exactly the timing, very well done.
C9, they're playing this map out. Awesome.
Flawlessly.
So
I mean, 64 Skulls said, hey, we don't need a 100 Skull Golem. It's not worth it. Let's get the other objectives. Really nice decision making there. I agree with it. And
they can push hard.
We'll see what comes of it because they're pushing with it.
Also, let's talk about some changes. I don't know if they're still in, but the golem slam, the AoE, the green slam that goes down. Okay, it did get changed. There was a point a couple of days after the patch went out where it was doing like 50% damage to tanks even. It was scary.
It would pretty much do 70% of Illidan's health if it was a 60 Skull Golem at the early game. It was a bit scary, but it has been hot fixed, I suppose, because it does seem back to normal here. Oh my good, the Primal Grass goes down with the Howling Blast. Trumbull is going to fall here. The root here to help zone and keep the other players alive, but that root is a pretty long cooldown, and Primal Grasp not quite as long, so Kerrigan will be ready to go on. And Zuna going in again here, looking for the initiation, going to get blinks. The Wall of the Dead here coming as well, getting McIntyre, and that's 3 kills, and the Golem still has about 40% of his health.
This is there. Zuna's doing a really good job picking people off, just getting them with that Primal Grass. Everyone else is able to follow up. It's really, really nice. And the other thing...
Oh my God! Oh. It doesn't stop! Trumbull,
through the wall.
Like like we said, just that lockdown, the Primal Grasp to get everyone locked down. Yeah. It's just every single time. I like they're doing it in perfect synergy. I hate to cut you off. I'm really excited. But they do the Primal Grasp, and then they throw down the Howling Blast, and then they throw down the Wall of the Dead to time everything. And the Wall of the Dead actually would have killed Trumbull there, but the tower shots killed some of the zombies, allowing Trumbull to get out.
Yeah. Yep. Oh man, this is, I mean, it's a very aggressive comp that they're running. This the Arthas Kerrigan it's a combo since like honestly day 1 alpha. So strong to roam with these heroes. They have double in Venom. That's like, if anyone's out of position of those 2 heroes there, you're dead.
You just get evaporated.
It's not gonna not happening.
It's really strong. Now who's running in Venom? Is it going to be Kerrigan and Arthas? Yes, it is. Kerrigan and Arthas running in Venom this game. And you know, that's always been a popular just kind of comp, like Roman comp. The Ravenous Spirit doing some work here, just barely gets Malfurion. Strafe doing a lot of work as well. Howling Blast actually gets dodged, but not going to be enough to stay alive. Once again, Trumbull is in trouble, and Phoenix throwing down his impale, but doesn't matter.
Okay, so I find it odd that they're pushing out this top lane here. They're so far ahead level-wise. They're going to get watch the experience. It's only like maybe a quarter of a level at this point. I mean, they have the advantage. Maybe this, again, is going down to the keep changes or the core changes and health, but well, why not just push out the bottom lane if you have a huge advantage? You have heroics when they don't. It's so scary for them to defend.
Yeah, you're right, but they're already there. They figure if you're right there...
Yeah, they have the giants.
Just take it, push your advantage right there, it's convenient, and then grab their mercenaries and then push across. I don't think it's a bad call, but you're right.
I mean, they're so far ahead, it's hard to make a wrong call at this point.
Yes. Well, the mines will be open in about 20 seconds. Every single member of Cloud9 is in a relatively decent point. Looks like Zuna wants to tap the well and biceps. They just said, hey, let's get full mana. It's not super necessary, but why not? Go into the mines. Make sure we have every single advantage in line. Level 10.
I think we're going to see C9 is just going to run up immediately. They're going to try to push a fight.
Well,
that's exactly what they're doing.
That's exactly what we're seeing here. As Dunk Train got maximum value as Caffeine just locked them down. The Primal Grass says, no, you're going nowhere.
That was a massacre in the same spot that they got ruined before. I mean, it makes perfect sense, though. They're so far ahead in levels. They have their heroics. The best thing that they can do is just go up, force a team fight, back up once they're done with that, and take all of the skulls. This should be the end of the game. I hate calling this type of stuff early,
well,
but I mean, like, they have such a massive,
Barrel
such a
Boys
commanding lead.
Hasn't hit 10, and Cloud just hit 10, and Cloud9's about to have their level 13 talents. That is I mean, 3 levels might not sound like that much, but that is actually a disgustingly large
100 skull golem,
which is already at their doorstep. Now
they're still up a talent. It's going to be tough to defend this.
Well, the Divine Storm getting a lot of value there, followed by the Primal Grasp. Now that was a nice attempt to disengage from Malfurion, but it's not going to be quite enough. Caffeine does not live. So they actually get a kill on the board here. 3 kills to 15 kills in favor of Cloud9. And Zuna does not stop. He's actually going to go in the mines to chase here. Yes, he is. And he's going to find a new Barak with the Uther. The Uther Ghost there. Trummel, once again, in a lot of trouble.
Trouble.
I just like saying that.
So, I get Malfurion decided to go Twilight Dream, sort of in an attempt to break up these combos that C9 is running.
I think it's the right call because there's so much burst. There's so much burst that I don't know that Tranquility is going to save you. And when you have this heavy dive comp, when they're all stacked on top of you, you have to get that silence off. But
did Stitches take Bile? I think he did.
Stitches actually has Putrid Bile.
He took Putrid Bile. That's, again, an attempt to slow down the other team. Maybe they're going to run some kind of Executioner if they can get there.
We've seen this in the past where Putrid Bile is used with Hammer.
It can work. But you need to not be 3 levels behind for that type of thing.
It's tough.
This is gonna get the core really low if they don't outright finish the game here. And they got a really nice Howling Blast.
Zuna is really just doing so much work here. I can't stress enough. Going into the strafe here, Blinks is going to fall. That strafe just got 100% value, hitting 3 to 4 people for the entire duration. The stun there on Trummel, and they actually secure the kill at literally his doorstep on their stoop. He was murdered in 10 minutes on Haunted Mines. So much for short games. Yeah, so much for long games. Yeah, we thought we were going to have long games.
Yeah,
we were worried that each game would be 30, 40 minutes. Cloud9 Maelstrom says no. We're going to push this tournament along as fast as we can.
I mean, of course, we expected this to be a bit of a mismatch. It's a team that we haven't seen too much of in the past. And like we already mentioned, C9 is a really, really strong team. I'm honestly looking forward to seeing what they can bring for the rest of this tournament. Of course, they're on the opposite side of Symbiote. Maybe we'll see them in the finals. That'd be really, really hype.
You know, it's entirely possible. Based on that performance, we've seen one game. Again, we know nothing about Barrel Boys. We really don't. And that was just one game here played, on Kings of the Storm. So thanks for competing, Barrel Boys.
Yeah, absolutely. We hope to see more of them.
Sorry you had to face this beastly roster of Cloud9 Maelstrom.
Yeah, and of course they're not seeded yet because they're a new team, so they're going to be on the lower side of the bracket.
Of course. But that Cloud9 Maelstrom.
Yeah, they had a lot of good picks, and I could see the strategy in their play. Especially, I like the idea of the hammer. They had tons of stun to back it up. In theory, it certainly could have worked.
Their draft was good.
Yeah.
Their draft was there.
Yeah.
If they've got one thing going for them, I liked their drafting a lot. Yeah. So I got to give them a lot of credit there.
Yeah, improving in the future is just going to be on decision-making, communication with the team. But you guys, you showed some promise for sure. So, yeah, again, thanks for competing, and hopefully we'll see you guys in the future.
But Cloud9, you have my attention.
Yes.
I am watching, and
that was some fun stuff. The Witch Doctor plays were there.
Oh my!
All the Ravenous Spirits were great.
Dude,
the walls.
Witch Doctor, Kerrigan is back. For a long time, we didn't see Kerrigan, but Zuna is a talented gamer. We've seen his Illidan, we've seen his Kerrigan. They're both.
He knows the right times to go in.
And his habit too.
Yeah.
He's a well-rounded player.
He certainly is. Yep. Certainly is.
Well, let's take a look at our updated bracket. I don't know if it's completely up to date, but we can look at what we know for sure here. We see that Cloud9 Maelstrom advances over Barrel Boys to face Clairvoyant. Clairvoyant, one of the... it's a roster that's switched up a few times here, but they've been around. The brand, the name Clairvoyant, has been around since the start of competitive Heroes of the Storm.
Consistently a pretty strong team, I will say. So.
Yeah. And... let's actually, I'm going to go to if you go to KOTSW5.challenge.com, that's the shorter URL, but if you add /KOTSW5, KOTSW5, you can see today's tournament here. It's updated by our tournament organizer, Mr. Cia Steve.
Mr. Cia Steve, of course, yes. He's always putting tons of time into getting these tournaments off the ground, making sure that they're running very smoothly. Guarantee you right now he's very busy in the back room, making sure all these matches are going off according to the schedule and everything. So big thanks to him. Big shout out to him.
Yeah, and well, we can see on the other half, it's actually what was my brain actually just eliminated itself.
So as far as I know, we are going to be casting the winner of Cloud9 Vortex and Hype Squad versus Symbiote Gaming. I'm not sure what the status is of that match right now. Have to wait a bit, but
EG is finishing a game. It says, oh, they're doing a versus game. I shouldn't read the chat out loud. They're practicing, getting ready for their next match, which is going to be against Wildfire. We're waiting for, like you said, the results of Vortex, Hype Squad, and Tempest Team Nexus Champ. Those are going on the other stream, so be sure to check them out.
Yes, absolutely.
Shout out to our sponsor, Kitten of the Storm.
As always, it's supporting these tournaments. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, CSC and Kitten of the Storm are the people that make this tournament possible, giving some opportunity to the players.
Those two have been driving this, sort of tournament scene before, while the game's in alpha. They've been behind everything.
They really believe in it.
Everyone appreciates it because we have these really high quality matches to watch and to cast for you guys. So we're obviously very excited about that.
It's a lot of fun. But guys, we're gonna throw to a quick commercial break here while we figure out what our next match is gonna be. Team Nexus Champ ESV Tempest and Cloud9 Vortex and Hype Squad still going on here. So
actually, we're seeing now that the bracket has been updated. Cloud9 Vortex versus Symbiote Gaming. So we'll see the other half of Cloud9 up against the reigning champs SMG.
Live updates here. Wow.
I know.
Vortex.
I'm really excited about that. It's gonna be so much fun.
Vortex 2-0 over Hype Squad. So that means we're doing Vortex versus Symbiote. Is that what we're doing?
Yep.
So yeah, guys, look forward to that. We're gonna be casting Cloud9 Vortex versus Symbiote Gaming. Apparently.
Yep.
So we're gonna
be a good one. Those are two strong teams.
I think we're all starting round 2 at the same time.
Yeah, I think so.
CSC wants to keep it all uniform. So we're gonna throw to a quick commercial break, get some water, get some chips, get some Hot Pockets, and mail me some.
You want those Hot Pockets?
I want those Hot Pockets.
We got chili cooking over there,
We do. We do. Guys, we'll be back in just a few. Stay tuned.